Basketball. It's a game that I can't play in real life. If you put a basketball in my hands and ask me to shoot a hoop, I am going to miss. I am the master bricklayer. I don't have dribbling ability. I don't have slashing ability. I have no basketball skills whatsoever. I'd like to think that I could maybe shoot a free throw at some point, but let's be real, I just can't. My interest in basketball really starts, if I want to be honest, with this game right here, with NBA Jam. Now, I did play games like NBA Showdown or Bulls versus Blazers, but it really wasn't until NBA Jam that I really started to take an interest in basketball games. And even though I can't play, I can play them in video game form and do okay. Games like NBA 2K19, for example, I can't play that to save my life. It is too simulation aspected for me, but there were games that came out, especially during the PlayStation era, that were a bit more user-friendly. For example, let's take a look at NBA Shootout 98. I believe this is Akeem Olajuwon on the cover. This is Sony's own game, Sony Computer Entertainment's own game. It is an officially licensed product. You can take a look here on the back to check out some of the screens, and I'll read some of the key features. Unbelievable graphics. Now, again, this is 1998, I believe. Yes, it is 1998. So, unbelievable graphics, new 3D motion-blended polygonal player model. NBA moves like no-look, overhead, off the dribble, around the back, and fake around the back passes. Crossover between the legs and double between the legs, dribbling, alley-oops, reverse spins, and hook shots. Hooks shots. Oops, messed up there. Advanced NBA gameplay, updated icon passing and icon cutting, call for cutter, set screens, and run the break like the pros. So this is getting into more advanced basketball tactics, which I'm not really too familiar with. New offensive and defensive plays. Gary Payton plays incredible D. Dennis Rodman clears the boards. Charles Barkley is a force. Shaquille O'Neal brings down the house, and John Stockton dishes the rock. So we have defensive player, a rebounder, Shaquille O'Neal with his power, and then John Stockton with his assists. 30 signature dunks. 30 signature dunks. Kobe Bryant's between the legs dunk, tomahawk, 1- and 2-handed 360s, double pump, and one-handed power dunks, no-look peekaboo dunk, forward and reverse cradle dunks, reverse hang, and two-hand follow-up dunks, 180 double pump, the scissor, and one-hand hang dunks. So you got plenty of dunks here in this game. 29 NBA teams plus all-star teams, trade, release, and create players. So this is pretty much the whole shooting match here. Again, this is Sony's own game. I tended to have a little bit of difficulty with this just because of the button layout. Nevertheless, it was a decent game to play, and one that I do own in my library. Now, you could pre-order this game back in 1998, and you'd actually get something pretty cool. You'd actually get, or you could have gotten, this NBA Shootout 98 t-shirt, which I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up right now. There we go. Take that right out of there just like that. This is extra large, so this is going to fit me just fine. There we go. So let me put this on. Talk amongst yourselves. This is pretty cool. There we go. Look at that. Is there something on the sleeve? Oh, yeah, look at that. NBA licensed product and the PlayStation logo. That's pretty darn cool. Just going to adjust the camera a little bit. There we go. So NBA Shootout 98. And this is sealed. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to open this up and look and see what's on the inside here. So yeah, you could pre-order stuff back in 1998 still. I was working for Funcoland at the time. And you could do pre-orders. You didn't have to put money down per se. You could just say that I'm going to buy this game. And if you put your name on the list and picked it up that day, you'd be able to get your shirt. Why can't I open this? This is always one of the risks of opening stuff live. There we go. So we'll take that off there just like that. Ooh, there we go. Take that off there just like that. I keep bumping the microphone. Sorry about that. So we still have the seal. We're going to go ahead and remove that. This video is going to be a little bit longer than usual because I do have multiple games that I want to show off in this particular episode as you look at basketball games from the 1998 sports year. So there we go. Put that over there. And as we look on the inside of the case, we do have the NBA Shootout 98 disc. It is in very plain black and white, nothing exciting. You also get a free tips for our 1998 sports lineup option. And again, you can see all of the 1998 sports year games there. And this, I believe, is part of the PlayStation Underground, and it is just like that with free strategy tips. So yeah, this is pretty cool. And I've talked about PlayStation Underground demo discs before. Unfortunately, this case is a little bit cracked on the front, but that's okay. We're talking about just what's on the inside. And let's face it, PlayStation game cases are not the strongest things around. Let's see here. When we look at the instruction manual is a lot of words. It is black and white. There's not really much to share with you here. As a matter of fact, looking through the manual, there aren't any photos at all aside from the controller, which is here. So just looking at some of the options here, they do have a ton of controls. You might want to study this if you're looking to play it because, as I mentioned, it's not very intuitive. Let's see. Season is an option here. What else do we have? Exhibition. Can take a look at some player cards. Playoffs, draft. So there's a draft option here. Signing free agents, so you can mess with the roster some. Fouls, normal, aggro, none or few. Talk about how to play the game. Talk about the advanced stuff. So, I mean, it's fairly straightforward. But again, if you play NBA Shootout 98, make sure that you review the controls because they're not all that intuitive. So that's NBA Shootout 98. This was one contender for the basketball title in the 1998 sports year. The lead contender in the game that sold the most, this guy right here. This is NBA Live 98. I believe that's Tim Hardaway on the cover. The game says $2.99. Unfortunately, I did not pay that for this. This is my favorite of the three basketball games I'm going to open up because this game has awesome presentation, I think. It has the NBA on TNT presentation style. So we have the NBA on TNT studio guys. Plus, you have Vern Lundquist doing play-by-play here, which is something you don't hear too much of. I would have loved to have heard Vern Lundquist do some Tiger Woods commentary, but it just didn't happen. So the Soul of Hoops brings the power. That's what we have here. Take control with direct dunking, one hand straight up, 180 reverse, windmill, finger roll, reverse layups, and more on command. So dunks are a big thing this year. Direct passing, pass to any player anytime. Tight player moves with spin, crossover, back down between the legs, and more. Ernie Johnson, by the way, that's the name I was thinking of, is the studio host that they have here. And he now is in the NBA 2K games for Take-Two. Custom NBA seasons, you can create a team and win it all. 3-point shootout with either full or split screen. Play-by-play from Vern Lundquist, which I've already talked about. NBA Live Power. So players play exactly like their real NBA counterparts, real stats, players, and moves. Every NBA player face is cyber modeled. Some of the faces in this game are pretty creepy. I got to be honest. You really can't see it. I believe that's Clyde Drexler there. But Clyde's face looks pretty creepy. There we go. So again, this is also sealed. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to open this up. And we're going to see what's on the inside. I'm always curious with EA games whether they have any advertising in them. Ooh, this one's noisy. There we go. And we'll take the seal off. This game to me was just, it's intuitive. The play controls are pretty easy. It leans more towards the arcade side, although you can certainly set it up to play more sim style. There's a lot of scoring, and it's fast-paced, and that's why I like this game. As we open this up, yep, we do get an EA Sports It's in the Game little advertisement. We'll look at that. There's also a warranty card. Not much really to say about it, but I'll show it to you. There it is. And we'll take a look at the warranty card really quickly. So the warranty card, actually not the warranty card, the advertisement. So it's just a list of the EA Sports games, and there are quite a few. I'll kind of, look at that, see? And there are more on the back. FIFA Road to the World Cup 98 is awesome, by the way, if you haven't played it. I am not a soccer guy at all, or a football guy. But that particular game, yeah, I'll play that all day. That's a lot of fun. All right, let's take a look at the instruction manual and see whether it is any different. Oh, here's the, I'm sorry, I didn't show you the disc. Here's the disc right there. Again, Tim Hardaway doing his thing. And there's an ad for NHL. Whoop. Try that again. There's an ad here for NHL 98, which is my favorite hockey game of all time. Hockey sim of all time, I should say. When we open it up, again, it is just black and white. But it's certainly more detailed, I think. And at least there are some screenshots here and there. So they use the controller symbols. They use some boldface text, so you can it's more interesting to read at least. And then they have they have a laundry list of credits at the end, so you can check that out. So yeah, I mean, this game, at least in terms of presentation, what I think is excellent for its time. And EA really did specialize in presentation for a very brief amount of time. And NHL 98 was great at it. NBA Live 98 was great at it. Even Tiger 99 was pretty good, I thought. But this game just stands out to me. As someone who doesn't play a lot of basketball games, I had a ton of fun with this game, and I will some more now that I have a fresh copy that is sealed, or not anymore, but now that it's open. So I have one more game to show you, and it's a very interesting, it's a curiosity more than anything else. And there's a reason that I opened up an EA game first. As you know, EA and Visual Concepts used to be partners. Visual Concepts put together some football games for Electronic Arts, ported versions of Madden to the Super Nintendo, as well as some other games. They were working on Madden 96 for the PlayStation. The project fell through, got canceled, and Visual Concepts was again kind of afloat on its own. So in between the time that EA let them go and the time that they latched on with Sega Sports to produce the NBA 2K games, they actually did another basketball game, and I'm about to show it to you right now. And it's pretty interesting who the publisher is, because it's a publisher you wouldn't think would be interested in a basketball simulation, but sure enough, they published it. It's this game right here. This is NBA Fast Break 98. Those are the Bulls on the front. Is that the Jazz? I think that's a Jazz jersey there. And it's Midway that published this game. The fastest way into the NBA, it says in the back. And I want you to take a look right at the bottom. See that right there? Yep, that's the Visual Concepts logo. Visual Concepts put this game together. The same people who did the NBA 2K games before NBA 2K was a thing, they did this. So let's take a look at the back here really quick. Fastest way in the NBA. You do have some screenshots. This is a fairly generic basketball game. It's okay. It's not going to set your world on fire if you're an NBA fan, but I've played worse games than this. I've played a lot worse games than this. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to open this up again. This is sealed. You can see it right there. So let's go ahead and get this guy open. And while I'm trying to get this open, thanks very much for joining me for this rather long episode of Unsealed. I didn't really expect to do all three games, but I thought it made sense because they were all in the same sports year to go ahead and just do that. Of course, now this is going to be difficult. I don't know how to edit video, so because this is happening live, I really should just live stream this at some point. There we go. I think I got it. I might have it. Talk amongst yourselves. You can talk about whatever your favorite basketball game is. Man, this is embarrassing. I think I got to do it like this, actually. I keep telling myself that I should be bringing scissors with me if I'm going to do this. I'm sure most of you have probably turned the video off by now. So yeah, this is not fun. All right, hang on. I can't get this guy open. Midway very seals their games pretty tightly, I guess. All right, we have a little bit of success. Of course, I'm now so nervous about not being able to open the game that my hands are sweating. This is going to make the video go for 20 minutes. If anybody knows how to edit video, maybe you should talk to me about that. Well, I guess... wait. There we go. Ha! Oh, my goodness gracious. There it is. I got it. There we go. That's embarrassing. All right. So NBA Fast Break 98. Again, for all of these games, we do have the little NBA logo there at the top. We're going to go ahead and take this seal off, and then we're going to go ahead and take a look at the manual really quick. I have only played this a little bit, so I don't have a lot of working knowledge of the game personally. I always thought that this was an interesting curiosity, however. The fact that Visual Concepts made it, and the fact that it's a basketball game just before the NBA 2K games. Now, when we open this up, before we get to the disc on the inside, there's an insert, which is the Fast Break Playbook, which is right here. And it actually shows you, if you're interested, it actually shows you different offensive and defensive sets. It is in color. This is pretty interesting, especially if you're interested in in basketball strategy, in play calling. And they're just offensive sets. There are no defensive sets here, so it's all about offense, which is fine by me. And that's one of the reasons why I love new games, man. Sometimes you find some neat stuff on the inside. What else do we have in here? We have the disc, which looks like a part of a basketball gym floor, just like that. And we take the manual out. Let's see if I can actually do that without breaking anything. Oh, my goodness. This has not been my day. All right. So here is the manual right here, and we open it up. It is in black and white. It is not in color. However, it does have some screenshots for you to check out. And on the back here, we're just going to read some of the features. Choose to play a full NBA season, an exhibition game, or practice mode. So there's no there's no dynasty mode just yet. It's all just season play, which is fine because if you're playing 82 games, it's certainly a lot of time to spend. You can play up to 8 players at once, so this is multi-tap support. Watch the action from 11 different camera angles. From the wood to the rafters, you're in there. So we're starting to see the very early stages of Visual Concepts presentation style where they wanted to go, looking at replay angles and how important that is. Not only replay angles, but camera angles. Replay is actually the next feature. Using the instant replay feature with adjustable camera angles to check out what you can't believe you just saw. Agility to shot accuracy, you can create a custom player and then place them on the free agent list. So again, we're talking about roster manipulation. 27 different offensive sets to choose from. Each team hits the court with 16 ready-to-go plays. So this game is leaning more towards simulation than arcade style, which again is a little bit different for a midway game, but nonetheless, that's welcome. State-of-the-art, polygon-based motion capture technology. NBA Fast Break 98 puts the ball in the palm of your hand. It does boast real NBA players, authentic uniforms, all 29 teams. It's all in this official licensed product. So this is a far cry from your NBA hang times and your NBA jams. This is definitely a simulation aspected kind of game. This is also, by the way, one of those midway games or midway published games. Unfortunately, Tim Kitzrow is not part of the commentary team. So if you're looking for some Kitzrowisms, you're not going to find him here, which is okay, I guess. So again, I don't have a lot of experience with that game, but what I can tell you is that was the stepping stone. That was the last basketball game that Visual Concepts would work on before latching on with Sega Sports and eventually getting us to NBA 2K, which is a pretty important basketball game and is a series that still remains active to this day that Visual Concepts still has the helm and running. So I think that that's pretty fascinating. So that is a look at your 1998 basketball games on the PlayStation. Opening up all 3. Got myself a t-shirt in the process. I'm very happy about that. Thanks very much, everyone, for watching and for being patient while I try and get this guy open. That was kind of a pain. I hope that you'll tune in next time. I actually have some game show video games we're going to get to. But until then, my friends, take care of yourselves. See you later.